Installing the VertiGO installation system cannot get any easier. With every order, you're going to receive this, which shows the exact height location of every single one of the rails. You get an isometric view like this that will give you an overview of where all the rails go. And then you also get individual wall elevations, so you know the exact measurements and exact locations for every rail. The first thing I did is I just grabbed the rails and I put them on top of the true base in their approximate location, and I just used this. So I realized, hey, I got two long guys here, I've got that one there. So I laid them out in their general areas. Now we're gonna dial them in. The next thing we're going to do is make marks on the true base or on the wall so that we can plumb up lines onto the wall and show the exact location of each rail. So starting over here, these ones go all the way to the end over here. So I'm gonna line that up with the end of my true base like that. This one here goes 30 inches in. Now, very important to note that this is a lower cabinet. The lower cabinet rails always go upside down like this. They don't go like this, they go like that. The ones on the walls screw on top, the base cabinets screws on the bottom. This one is 30 inches from this inside corner. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna mark 30 inches right here. Take the rail, set it right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a mark over on the end of it, just as a reference, right like that. So basically I'm gonna go around and do the same thing over here. I lay the rails on the true base according to the measurements in the plans, make marks on the wall so I can plumb up lines on the next step. Now that all the VertiGO rails are laid out on the wall, I am going to take those marks, grab my level, and plumb them up all the way to the top of where the cabinets go. Grab this sheet right here, and this shows me all of the heights for every one of my rails. Now I'm going to create a story pole here for this measurement, that one, and that one, because I'm doing 36-inch uppers. So here's my bottom height, my mid height, and my top height. And I will use this story pole now and transfer all of those dimensions right onto the wall. Using the story pole, I marked out all of the heights of the rails and I put an X on the side that the rail goes on. So now I'm going to go ahead and tack these rails to the wall. So bottom one, again, make sure that this side is up and this side is down. So putting my rail right here and making sure I'm on my mark over there. I'm going to tack this to the wall. Now, very important, precision with our system is essential. So if you're way off, it can throw off the whole entire system. So just make sure that by using a story pole, you're getting that exact same mark everywhere. And as long as you put them on the mark, you'll be in good shape. To secure the VertiGO rails to the wall, use a 2-inch or longer number 8 screw, making sure to hit a stud every 16 inches on center. Before we take care of the next issue, which is dips and wavy walls, we're going to take the rail and we're actually going to secure it to the wall. So I'm going to find a stud. I've got one right here. And when I put a screw in here, I look at where I am next to a mark. So this screw is going to be right next to one of these marks. The marks are every 4 inches. As soon as I find one stud, I just count over 4 marks, and if I'm 1 hole over from that, 4 marks over, 1 hole over, and I can easily find all my studs once I just find one. Super fast. With the VertiGO rail system, anywhere where a rail extends more than 6 inches past the stud that you can secure it to, you need to take one of these drywall anchors and put this in and then secure it to the wall. So with my rail tacked up, I'm gonna go ahead and make a mark right here. I'm gonna take my rail, drop it down, and install a drywall anchor, and then we'll start securing the rails to the wall. The VertiGO installation system is engineered to take care of nearly every single common issue that installers face, such as walls that have bows in them, dips in them, they're out of plumb and out of square. Now I'm going to show you how to fine-tune our system for perfect cabinetry installs. The first issue that VertiGO rails fix is when you have a bow in the wall, like right here, this rail has got a huge bow. So I'm going to mark my wall right like that where the bow is. Then I am going to take one of my screws out that just tacks it up in place. I'm going to drop that guy, grab a hammer. So now I've removed the bow out of the wall. I take the VertiGO rail and I put it around like that, and now it's sitting perfectly flush against the wall. When dealing with out-of-plumb walls with the VertiGO system, such as in this corner, I have a corner cabinet going in here, so this wall needs to be perfectly plumb. This wall needs to be perfect plumb, but they're not. So I'm gonna take my level and put it on here, and I see I'm about 3/16 of an inch out from the top to bottom rail. So now that all of my screws are in, either a drywall anchor such as this one here, or in a stud like this one here, I can take our horseshoe shims, which come for free with every single order. So this red one is 1/8 of an inch, these blue ones are 1/16 of an inch, and take my horseshoe shims and put these guys right behind the screw, like that, and then tighten that screw back in, right like that, and check this. And that is actually perfectly plumb right there. Dealing with walls that are not straight is super simple. So right here, this wall, we already plumbed it. Now, if I need to straighten this wall, I could use a straight edge, just like this. Here, here, here. This is a bow that is in now, so I'm just gonna loosen this screw a little bit, loosen that one a little bit, loosen that a little bit. And I grab my horseshoe shims, and I could just take my horseshoe shims and go 1/8 here. Let's see, this one was probably 1/8, and that looked like about 1/16 of an inch. The VertiGO installation system is ready for a perfect install. We've gone around with our level and we've plumbed up all critical locations right here. We've taken this and we've created a perfectly straight rail, just like this, ready to go. So using the horseshoe shims and shimming behind the rail, we straighten it, we plumb it, we take care of everything that's going to affect the cabinet install at the rail level. If we have a bow, taking a hammer, we mark it on the wall where the bow is behind the rail when we tack it up. Then we take our hammer and we knock that area in, and then we could put our rail up there perfectly flat. So now when it comes time to put those cabinets in, the rail is perfect, so the cabinets will be perfect too.